Ahead on the evening beat, there is contention brewing over California's transit housing bill, how this new law could transform LA's urban landscape, and how the community is responding. Hollywood is in mourning right now, and so is South Central, how the late director John Singleton left a lasting legacy on the film industry and LA. Well, today marks 44 years since the official end of the Vietnam War, how an Orange County elementary school is understanding the history and also fostering relationships between our nation's heroes and our youth. I'm Chris Leary.
And I'm Jada Montemarano with tonight's top beat, 43%. That's how much of LA's developable land could be changed if Senate Bill 50 passes. This bill could offer incentives for developers to start constructing apartment units near transit hubs, for example, bus stops and metro stations. Right now, the only type of housing allowed in these areas is single-family homes. The bill's author says that people should have more living options closer to transit. There are many different layers to Senate Bill 50, vocal supporters and dissenters. Well, our Catalina Villegas joins us from Temple Beth Am on La Cienega, where a town hall meeting is about to take place on this exact issue. Catalina, what are people saying about this right now?
In our Health Beat tonight, here's something to think about if you drink your water straight from the tap. A new study found that doing so could increase the risk of cancer. Researchers from Environmental Working Group found combinations of contaminants in our water systems could cause more than 15,000 cases of cancer over the course of a lifetime. They evaluated more than 2,700 water systems across the state, which serve most of our population.
Researchers used data from 2011 to 2015 to analyze levels of chemicals like arsenic, disinfecting byproducts, radioactive elements, and chromium-6, which you might remember as the Erin Brockovich chemical.
Yes, I do. By the way, the potential issue here isn't just that pollutants were found. Drinking water rarely contains just one contaminant, and most U.S. drinking water systems meet legal limits. But legal doesn't always mean safe. Regulators typically measure the risk of contaminants one by one, instead of measuring the combined effects of people ingesting them all at once.
So what can you do right now, may you ask, to see what's in your water? Well, we checked out EWG's online tap water database, what you see right now on your screen. You can either search by putting in your zip code or do an advanced search. From there, type in your utility's name, select your state from the drop-down, then click your utility. Here's where you'll see a number of contaminants detected by state and federal regulators. For example, LADWP says 5. And the drop-downs let you see how the levels of each thing compare to health guidelines and legal limits. Experts suggest adding a filter to help reduce your exposure. While the community continues to mourn the late director, we also commemorate the fall of Saigon that happened 44 years ago today. It's the day when the People's Army of Vietnam, along with the Viet Cong, captured the capital of South Vietnam, marking the end of the Vietnam War. It's an important day for Vietnamese Americans and veterans, too. Today, One Garden Grove Elementary School will host a commemorative celebration that opens a discussion about freedom, racism, and war. Our Vicki Nguyen spent time with one student and a vet who were paired together for a special gratitude project. What a powerful project there. The students will present their project in just about an hour about these military heroes at the Murdy Elementary School. And in just about 20 minutes, you'll meet a familiar face with a passion. How this Mean Girls actor has been making a difference in the community since his big gig. A new USC study found that 4 of the 10 least affordable metro areas in the country are right here in California. They are San Diego, Los Angeles, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Sacramento. Researchers used a new method that provides policymakers a more accurate picture of the rental market conditions. Dowell Myers, a professor at USC's Price School of Public Policy, says the study shows how rents are rising faster than wages. Now to a story we've been following. It looks like Woodstock 50 is still on. In a newsletter shared today, the festival's organizer said the event is happening despite its financial partner pulling out and saying it was canceled. The newsletter also mentions that they're working with New York State and various parties to keep things right on track. Tickets were supposed to be available for the festival last Monday, but they still haven't happened yet online, so take a look out for that.
All right, looking forward to that.
Now, back in February, the death of beloved stand-up comedian Brody Stevens rocked the world of comedy.
Yeah, well, especially in L.A., the landmark Laugh Factory, where the late comedian was a fixture on the circuit. Laugh Factory founder Jamie Masada is hosting a fundraiser tonight to honor Stevens' life and also open up the conversation about mental health, suicide, and its prevention.
For the past decade, it's provided free psychiatric treatment for its comedians. With us now, we have Dr. Tabori, the Laugh Factory in-house psychologist. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us about your treatments.
Well, the Laugh Factory has been providing services to the comedians since 2011, and we provide a free service for treatment for their psychological concerns.
And that's a big deal. I mean, just it's odd that you'd have something at a comedy spot, someone designated to help that. Is that normal?
No, the Laugh Factory is the only one who's been doing that. I believe that both SAG and AFTRA have followed up doing things like that. But Jamie Masada, the owner of the Laugh Factory, has started the program, and it's been successful ever since.
Now, speaking of Brody Stevens, I've seen him in some of his stand-ups and comedy shows, and he does some self-deprecating humor. A lot of comedians do that. Now, is this a sign we should be looking out for if someone's struggling?
Self-deprecating humor is a common feature in comedy, but it is not something that we would worry about necessarily on the stage. It's the story behind the story that's on the stage.
Gotcha. And now tonight's event, let's talk about that. What will be happening?
Well, tonight's event is honoring the life of Brody Stevens, his life and work. He lost his life to suicide back in February, and it's being sponsored by save.org, which is a suicide awareness and education program.
Right, and where do you go for that kind of information? What this event's all about?
Well, you can go on the Laugh Factory website and also on save.org.
And are tickets open for everyone? Anyone can show up?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be a great event.
Good, and there will be laughter, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Laughter is the help to a lot of people's pain as well, especially people go to comedy shows to kind of get happy from maybe a hard day or a hard week. So is that something you see a lot, that people want to go feel better from comedy, but also sometimes comedians are struggling themselves?
Yeah, I see it so much that the comedians will have people go up to them after their shows, and I've seen it so many times that somebody will go up to them and say, I had such a bad day today, and you took it right out of me.
That's
and
nice.
then it makes them feel good, and because they're giving back.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're glad to have you around. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, by the way, in about 10 minutes, you're going to have we're going to talk about another upcoming event this weekend.
Chris, get ready for tonight's passion project. It's all about Mean Girls. The film wasn't just any old movie. I mean, it's one of my favorites. It became a multi-generational hit, still revered by millennials and Gen Zs alike. Well, today is the 15-year anniversary of the movie. One of the stars, Danielle Vernzese, says he's been busy since the movie first hit our screens. Well, our Bianca Ray shows us what type of advocacy work he's been up to. Honestly, he's one of the best parts of that movie, in my opinion. But Daniel's also passionate about environmental issues. He supports the plastic straw ban. He even got the club you saw in that story, Flappers in Burbank, to cut back on straw use. There's nothing like a good baseball game, right? And tonight's Angels beat, a local pitcher is making his big league debut. Griffin Channing grew up in Orange County and is now getting ready to play for his hometown team. It's a big day for him, his family, and his friends. And of course, no one is prouder and more nervous than Griffin's mom. Our Nikki Kay joins us right from Angel Stadium after spending a day with Griffin's mom. Nikki, tell us, how is she feeling right now? Is she nervous? What's happening out there? Now, Nikki, that's awesome that they're all going to be there tonight, but let me know, will Mom be going to every single game? You know, there's nothing like a mother's love.
So here's where you got to give Julie major props, because the nature of minor league baseball, you never know when Griffin's going to be called up, sent back down, called up, sent back down. So she's just kept on constant edge. She said she maybe would send him a text before his big debut tonight, but can't wait to see Griffin on the mound.
Thanks so much, Nikki. Again, the Angels take on the Blue Jays tonight at 7, and good luck to Griffin there. Well, if you want some snacks for the game, how about some cake, right? Cake sounds good right about now. In about 10 minutes, I'll take you to a bakery in Westlake serving up some delicious treats that will bring you right back to your childhood. You won't want to miss it. A baby sea lion got an unusual ride to safety today. Take a look at this. This little guy wandered onto the 101 freeway in South San Francisco. California Highway Patrol had tweeted out these photos. Drivers actually tried to shoo the sea lion to safer ground, but he apparently was not having it. CHP finally got the sea lion in the back seat and took him to the local humane society. Officials say the sea lion appeared to be healthy. Happy ending.
Looks like a sea dog with his head out the window, right?
Hey, Chris, are you hungry?
Oh, good question. Let me try it. Ready? You're an expert.
Okay.
Starving? No.
No.
How do I?
No.
Hungry?
Ready?
No?
1, 2, 3. Hungry.
Nice. Boy,
You're
you're
supposed to
good
do
at
it with me. Come on. Well, since we're both hungry right now, how about some dinner before dessert, Chris?
Yeah.
I think so. One local bake shop is elevating treats to bring us back to our childhood. Well, we check out Cake Monkey Bakery on this week's Running on Empty. Sugar, spice, and everything nice. Cake Monkey Bakery is bringing the joys of childhood to any adult.
It was about like getting to that memory, like getting to that moment where you remember eating something that was just like so yummy when you were a little kid.
Elizabeth is the chef behind these whimsical creations, but her business partner Lisa was the fuel to the fire.
I grew up in Mexico City, so this was not my palate, for example. But when we first met, she used to like carry around ho-hos and ding-dongs in her purse, and it was just like, oh, she's really passionate about this.
What makes a former television producer with no baking experience open up a bakery?
I do love to eat sweets, and I do love to come up with some flavor combinations.
Lisa wanted to create a space that she felt didn't exist, but she had always been wanting to go to.
I grew up eating ringdings and yodels and Pop-Tarts and all that fun stuff. But I felt like, wow, I love these things, but I'd really love to eat the upscale versions with, you know, the finest ingredients, all natural ingredients. Why don't I do that?
Lisa had the idea to recreate childhood favorites, but needed someone to bring this to life. That's where Elizabeth comes in. Lisa actually found her by placing an ad on Craigslist, and the rest was history.
If you have an idea and then you bring it to your partner, and then she has another idea that builds on that, between the two of us, it becomes something great.
Whether it's dessert or a savory item, Elizabeth and Lisa just want to make people happy.
Treats make people smile, they love it, and seeing the customers' faces, and then they bring their kids in and they love it, and it's very heartwarming.
Enjoy life and eat cake at Cake Monkey Bakery. Cake Monkey Bakery brings you back to your childhood, so of course I have to try their take on a yodel, the Rolo, and a piece of the birthday cake, both chocolate, because that's my favorite. Let's just take a bite. This made me so happy. I instantly smiled when I took a bite. It really brings you back to your childhood when you come home from school and have that afternoon snack. But the main difference is it's not artificial. You really taste the difference in the ingredients, the all-natural ones that they use in this. It's not overly sweet. It's rich and creamy and moist and dense. Everything you want out of this take on a yodel. I also tried the birthday cake, which is amazing as well. I definitely think it's worth the drive over here to Cake Monkey Bakery, and I'm no longer running on empty. Well, Chris, if sweets aren't your thing, don't worry. They do have some savory items. They have some nice avocado toast, and they have a whole lunch menu in their Westlake location.
Fascinating. Hey, we got some viewer questions here. hey, that eating expert's in there. Let me ask you, does she eat everything? Do you always eat everything? Because sometimes you have a pile of food there.
Yeah, sometimes I finish it all in one spot, so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good, I can't control myself. But if not, I bring it home with me, have it for like lunch, dinner, maybe the next 3 weeks.
No, do you like sweet or savory better?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes I like salty, sometimes I like sweet, but if it's sweet, just cover me in chocolate, like in that video.
Wow, yeah. Now, what's the favorite thing you've had so far? You have that's a hard
Do you remember that Meat Man burrito?
Yeah, that was huge.
Remember that one, guys?
That
Do you remember
had
it? Well, the
everything.
brisket in that, oh,
How do you taste that? How do you find that brisket
you have it
into
on the
all?
side as well.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I'll teach you later.
All right.
I'll teach you,
Does your
Chris.
boyfriend tease you at home?
Yeah, all the time.
Thank you.